Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to my podcast. Thank you so much, as always, for listening, for being here, for taking the time to listen to my voice. It means so much. It means a lot. I am honestly enjoying the slow growth that I'm making. I have big plans for this podcast, and I'm just very happy, very happy. I'm taking a chance on myself and on just like trying out different things. So your support means a lot. Um, I am hoping to get 100 listeners by my birthday or by Christmas. Either way, I'll be fine. Either way, I'll be very happy. But please don't forget to like, don't forget to follow, don't forget to share. Please comment. I want to start having Q&As. So please comment. It's gonna be very interesting. So yeah, thank you. In this episode, I wanted to talk about the Genesis story that we started talking about the other week, and this one I wanted to focus on coming to America. I wanted to focus on what I was expecting versus reality. What is like my feelings towards it when I was growing up and now. And so yeah, so let's begin. So in the last episode, we left off with my family moving here when I was 10 years old. And I think people don't understand how America is sold to the world, right? Like America, Europe, and Australia, Canada, like just how the West is sold to the world. I never thought there was the ghetto, what we know as the ghetto in America, right? And this is interesting because when people see pictures of Africa, they see pictures of poverty. Like now it's starting to change when people are also seeing that we have beaches, we have beautiful islands, we have buildings, we have roads, because when I used to see Africa from the perspective of American, it's like, where Africa are you talking about? And this is coming from a girl who grew up in a refugee camp, by the way. And I still felt like this is a misrepresentation of Africa. We are not poor, we don't live in dirt roads, we are not, so, but the display of America is so beautiful. It's like big buildings, amazing houses, clean road, and I'm like, then you come here, you're like, what's this? Like, yes, there is the clean roads, the amazing buildings, all of that, but because the full picture is not shown, when you actually see the hood or you see crack on the road, I think I saw my first dog poop in America, because I have tried really hard to go back to my childhood and kind of like point out the time I've seen dog poop on the floor, like on the side of the road in my life. And I never, ever, I can never recall a time that I've seen that in Africa. But when I came here, you see dog poop on the road in a place that is supposed to be paradise, in a place that is supposed to be clean, white as snow. It was so interesting. I think that was the first cultural shock that I had, was like, wait, there's dog poop on the floor? Like, what country is this? Right? So when we moved here, we lived in the south side of Providence. And the first, the other cultural shift was seeing other, I don't know how to say this, seeing other minority groups, right? Seeing people in lower classes, right? And I so for some of you listening, be like, wait, what? You did not think they were like a lower class in America? Not consciously, right? Because when you think about America, or when people, especially people in Africa or in third world countries, when they're looking at America, they're looking at it as like an economic paradise, right? A lot of people will tell you, I want to come to America to realize the American dream. I want to come to America to work, because they're coming from places where there's no job. You have engineers, you have doctors, you have economics with like bright future but no job. There's nothing, there's not an avenue to make it for many people in these places. So you view America as an economic paradise. You view America as a place where you will be well off. So if you're coming from those perspective and then you come here and see people who are now well off, you're like, what's going on? I thought everyone have a job in America, a good paying job, right? And even a McDonald's job to somebody who in their country can work months after months and not be paid is a good paying job, right? So the standards are a little bit low. So when you see people who are like, you're hearing, because when we came here, we came here in the middle of the political debates, right? We came here in the election year of Barack Obama. So you're listening to the discourse, you're like, what are they talking about? The same thing that they're talking about is like similar problem. Not totally the same, but similar. And I think people always, especially minority, always ask like, why do immigrants vote against their interests? Like they are black or they are minorities, they are this, they are that. And I think they don't realize that telling a person, I will cut your taxes or I will take more money away from you, is something that they are used to in their own country and they did not like it. So when someone tells them, I will cut less taxes, you have more money, it has nothing to do with the current political environment that they're in. It has something to do with their feeling of stability that they never had, starting from the countries in which they're coming from. Like I want to make an extended episode of that, on like why immigrants sort of like Republican policies economically, because I feel like even I've been accused of being anti-black because some of my belief are not democratic or not democratic, but do not align with the Democrat Party. And so people be like, why are you voting against your interests? Like you just don't want to be black, you just want to be blah blah blah. So it's like you have to understand where some of us are coming from, right? So yeah, that was the other cultural shock, is like finding out that there was lower class, finding out people were in poverty, finding out like some people go work days and they still get paid, but it's not living wages. That's a big cultural shock, because you're like, how in a land where they promise you the American dream, this is possible, right? The other cultural shock was the language. For me, there was always this understanding that everyone spoke English, right? I did not know that English was not the official language of the United States, like on paper. So when I went to school, most of my class were like Hispanic students, and me and two kids from Thai were the only other in our classroom. And you had teachers who spoke Spanish, and we're like, are we not supposed to learn English, right? Because again, when you are in Africa or something like that, you think you're like, oh, I'm going to be speaking English. I'm going to be learning, I'm going to be interacting with like white kids. And not because white is better, but because that's the face of America abroad, right? And retrospectively, now as I'm traveling and I've won federal scholarship that have allowed me to go abroad and everything, we are dismantling what the face of America look like, right? Because through the Fulbrights, the Gilbert, we have sent like people that a lot of foreigners do not know because the face of America is usually white. So when we're in Africa and we are expecting to interact with white people, it has nothing to do with thinking that white is better. The information is just like the predominant people are white. So you are thinking that you're going to be in school with like white kids, You're not thinking that you're basically going to be in Dominican Republic in your classrooms, right? And I'm not saying that as condescending. I'm just saying that as like the culture shock, right? The what you expected versus the reality of things. The other cultural shock was how individualistic Americans were. Like now I can see the community aspect of, Americans. However, it's very individualistic in the sense of like it's rare to know your neighbors. It's very rare. Like when you're coming from a place where you can go to your neighbors and ask them for sugar and ask them for like, hey, do you have flour or whatever. Where there's that sort of collaborative way of living. To come here, you're like, well, my problem is my problem. Don't mess with me and I won't mess with you. That was a big shift. And growing up was interesting because there was not an expectation like that the people in your life will last a long time. Especially for me, because like I never been to another school with my friends. Like the friends that I had in elementary school, I did not see them in middle school. The friends I had in middle school, I did not see them in high school. So it was weird to. So right now, I can't say like I have good friends that I've known forever, but it's like when you move and when your lives change, you guys kind of like grow apart. So there's a lot of like growing apart in the United States, whereas in Africa, you're like, oh, we go to the same school from like here all the way to college, right? So yeah, and then the other cultural shock was race. Race was another cultural shock for me or for kids like me, because I remember I was having a discussion with my best friend who currently lives in Australia, and one time she asked me, she said, when we were young, no, she was telling me about like the like her experiences with how people interact with her because of a dark skin and everything. And I asked her, I'm like, when did you realize that we had a different skin tone? And she said, when I moved to Australia. And I'm like, yeah, same thing for me too. The emphasis of race, the emphasis of you're black or what blackness is or what blackness is supposed to be was very interesting, like was very foreign to me. And it's something that I struggle until today, because I remember being a kid and just interacting with like black American kids, and they would just ask me questions like, you're from Africa, right? Right? So do you guys do this? And I'd be like, no. Be like, are you sure you're from Africa? Or like, do you drink Kool-Aid? Or I remember I asked somebody the difference between cornbread and corn muffin. She lost it. She like, but I thought you were black. And I was just like, what does that mean, right? So the introduction to blackness was, ooh, uh, that's a long story. Was hard. It's still hard. Um, that was another cultural shock. The other cultural shock was the interaction with police, right? So as an African, because policing has been a colonial aspect in every country that have been colonized, I did not know that the police was there to serve and protect you. I think I'm gonna make another episode about that because it's sort of like we never thought police was part of the community. We always thought police was another thing, right? We only see police coming to arrest people or beat people and everything. So the first time I saw a news about a police officer helping a pregnant woman on the side of the highway was like, oh my God, police here are good. I swear to God, the standards are very low. The standards are just low. Like, wait, that's what they do here? Oh my God. I would tell you, I would have never fathomed speak to a police officer in my life because from where we're from, the police is not there for us, you know? So even when I look at, and I think that's why it's hard to explain to immigrant parents, like the Gen Z or the millennial fights against police, because they're like, yeah, like the police has never been for the people, duh, you know? So that was another cultural shock for me. Um, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, dating. Dating was another cultural shock. I don't know who your parents are, but like even when I got my boyfriend at 23, my mama was still mad about that. So I was flabbergasted when like my 14-year-old friends would be like, oh yeah, like, I have a boyfriend. Or I'm flabbergasted now when my students who are like 8 or 7 years old would tell me like, yes, miss, I have a boyfriend. I'm like we play mama and papa when we were kids. We play those two games. But you would not fathom openly telling adults I have a boyfriend at those age. Like that was like flabbergasted. It's like, wait, what? Who let you? Like your parents know? So it's like, no. Like I said, I had my first boyfriend at 23. But one of my best friends is gonna be 26. She never even had a boyfriend, never had a kiss, nothing. So it's like these people are out here having boyfriends as a young, losing their virginity as like that was what grown people do, right? That's what grown people like do. So it was so like in my mind it was so foreign to me. So yeah. And people will ask me like, so what did you think of America? I thought of America as different. It was hard to dismantle, like, yes, it's still an economic paradise for somebody who come from my background. Um, but being here with the reality of the full picture has been like, so the best way I can explain it is with New York City, right? When we see New York City on TV, we are not realizing that we're only seeing Manhattan, right? The good parts of Manhattan. The first time I went to New York City, it was in the Bronx. My friend was like, oh, what in New York City? I'm like, oh, no, we're not. We are not. This is not the New York City that I seen on TV at all. So we're not in New York City. That was that's sort of the contrast of what you expected and what the reality was. And over time, you learn to kind of embrace it. And by embracing it in the States, you teach people to embrace the difference also in Africa. You'd be like, hey, you see how my expectation and my reality was different? That's the same thing, right? The same way you don't want me to paint America with one brush. Please don't paint Africa with one brush. Because first of all, Africa is a continent and it has like 56 countries in it. And countries have cities, countries have villages, towns, suburbs, good parts and bad parts, just like the United States, you know? So don't paint, not all of us live in huts, no. All of us live with lions. Like, child, I'm afraid of a dog. Imagine me with a lion. Like, no. So don't paint all of us with one brush. So, yeah. That's all, y'all. I have to actually hurry to get ready to go to work. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Until next time. Bye.